So welcome back to the channel. Another episode of the Datsun. Dum dum dum. Jonathan's looking at us funny. We're at this stage. Let's spin you around. So these are all tacked, but they're not. Two rows aren't fixed together yet. Is that going to be the right pipe there? Because that one's longer.
You're going to ask that. This was the end of one of the tubes, so I didn't bother cutting the angle because I knew I'd need to tweak it anyway.
Alright, so we need to cut that one.
Just need to cut, that's what I'm going to mark now.
Yeah.
So it was always going to be to tweak. So it's easier doing it this way than the other way.
Got a right good shot of the top of your head there.
Thanks. You sure your camera didn't have too much glare on it?
Yeah, so it's getting exciting anyway. We can see the full shape of it now. Like obviously they're not even in line at the minute, like the back to front, that one's sitting further forward, but that's essentially the front of the truck. Those bits there where the subframe is going to mount and hold the engine, and then the cabs here, like the footwell's about here, and then the main part of the cab, the seats will be around here, and then from here we've still got the back to do. Actually the seats will be about here, won't they? Yeah.
Yeah, footwell's like here.
Yeah.
Seats will be
So seats about there,
so
and then this is going now back towards the rear subframe. With all this CAD design and like planning and stuff, and we're still like eyeballing things with a marker pen. You're gonna shut your eyes to do that, Jonathan. So he's cut that long so that he can then trim it down to
hopefully
fit.
It's too long.
It's better than it being too short.
I need more of an angle on it as well.
Yeah.
I need to move that because that's in the way now. I did actually have that working right.
Yeah, that one's sitting right, although it's sitting slightly short on here.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit back off here. Yeah, it is a little bit back.
That's got trim time on it anyway, hasn't it?
Got room to manoeuvre here.
But you do need to come as far as the line.
Yeah, it's going to go
on
that
this
way
side
anyway.
as well, because that's it sitting.
Got that. Got that.
I was just saying to Jonathan how good it looks, and like it's a thing of beauty, and it wouldn't look this good if we'd done it in 50mm by 100mm box section. It would just be two, box rails. It just would not look this good. And Jonathan's response was, yeah, but it wouldn't take anywhere near as long either. But this is part of the point. It's not about doing it the easy way. It would have been a lot easier to do it in box section, but it also wouldn't look as good. And at the end of the day, I want the whole thing to look good. So every time you put a weld on something, the heat moves the metal slightly. So what you're going to do, just heat it up with the TIG and put pressure on the end. Do you want me to be in charge of tightening?
Yeah, if I put a little bit of pressure on it, it should go itself. because it's against the tube there.
Yeah. I mean, when we weld the top and the bottom together, we're going to have to clamp it all anyway.
Clamp it, yeah.
But we don't want it too rigid until...
We can compensate for minor errors anyway.
Yeah. So the idea is to get the best fit possible for the pipes as they meet up. There's very little gap in between the pipes where they join, and it makes for a much better weld. Obviously all the ends have got to be cleaned on the inside and on the outside, and chamfered on the edges as well to get the best weld on them. But we are noticing, like this pipe here, we had to clamp that there because the pressure on there was bringing that up, and as you weld it, there's a slight movement in the pipe. The heat causes like the pipe to pull, so as you're welding it, it does move things a little bit. So getting them exactly the right profile to sit on top of the bottom row of pipes is quite tricky. It's going to keep on being a problem, because even as we weld these pipes all the way around, which has to be done before they're welded together, like the two rows are welded together, even that welding, even though these are like quite well tacked in place now, it will still cause a bit of a pull. So we're going to have to keep on checking that, and as much as possible keep it like braced into place with the clamps so that it doesn't pull too far. So the rest of the pipe work that we'll be doing with the smaller pipes, we do have a pipe bender for it, but working out all these bends would have been an absolute nightmare if we were doing it with a pipe bender as well. So, but for the suspension uprights and a lot of the other parts, we're actually going to be using 25mm instead of the 50mm. So we do have a pipe bender for that. So a lot of it we'll be able to, you know, make our own bends from that point on. Want a mild bit of persuasion with a hammer or something in it.
Just getting the angle right on there, and it's pretty much there now. That's close enough.
Yeah.
Touching.
Bit of a gap there.
Touching on there. So if I just take that and grind that a little bit. Mark that side.
So I did try and learn TIG welding to build, so I could weld the chassis myself, but shit man, it's harder than it looks, a lot harder than it looks. I was like, yeah, I can do that, no bother at all, but there really is an art to it. My microphone's knackered. Well, it's been through the wash and now the Bluetooth's not connecting. So, how do you clean a microphone out?
You take the bits and clean it. With IPA, won't you?
What, just clean the circuit board and that might help it work?
If it's got corrosion on it, it'll be not very happy.
So do you think it could be like shorting out inside or something?
Yeah, because it's all like real sensitive stuff. Isn't it?
Say hello to the camera.
Huh?
Say hello. Chris? Yeah, you're on camera. Let's go, mate. Back at the back cave. Quite a nice day. So, rumour has it that Jonathan's been working on the chassis while I've been away, because I only come on Mondays to the garage really. So let's go and have a look, see if he has. Yeah, it's really good.
Expensive?
Yeah, it was really expensive. I bought it. I bought it for filming cheeky cockneys.
You don't even know where I come from.
Have you got someone to pick up there?
Yeah, they're coming in a minute. Can we go and have a chat with the van?
Ooh, that was a fake one because I've already seen it. I forgot to get the camera out. It's dark in here. I put the lights on. I love the shape of that front bit as well. Looks good.
Yeah.
So we are welded all the way around on all the pipes by the look of it.
Yep.
And tacked together. Yeah.
Yep.
And braced.
Yeah, them two just temporary braces.
Yeah.
It keeps it all square then.
And how was it tacking it together with a flexed much, or were they all right?
Not too bad. I had to pull it together on the bench, but only really this bit was to pull down.
Yeah.
Because when you weld these, it tends to alter the angle. But pulling them together with it clamped on the bench, it's come out quite well. We need to see what it does when we weld it, but I think it'll be all right because it's braced already.
Well done, hand buzzing. Nice to see it come together like that.
Yeah.
And what do you think about that front bit now that you got it in?
This
Yeah.
seems to be all right. Yeah. I've got a couple of little bits to weld there. I need to turn it down and just get them, otherwise it will melt the edge back.
Aye.
And then this tube's a little bit back, this one's a little bit forward, but
With
I'll
the
just
trim.
make them the same.
Yeah.
And then make the bum to make them level.
Yeah.
You know.
And what about, like, you were talking about maybe doing a second one over the top of it,
Second.
like doubling
I'm
that
not sure
up?
that I'll do in the
No, maybe just a gusset on the top.
I might do a gusset to the top.
Yeah.
This side needs this bottom one welded on these. Just it needs sat up to get to that.
Should go around and check all your welds.
Well, these ones need a bit more. I need to put it up that way and do the tops.
That looks good, man. It's way neater than a MIG though, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a few bits that are a bit fizzy, but I think must have just been a little bit of contamination.
Yeah.
Nothing major.
What we're doing in here?
I think we're just going
Gonna
to
MIG
that.
it, yeah.
It's a lot easier with the MIG.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got tacking it. I had it turned quite well up, so it got a good tack, you know. And I give them a good clean off with one of them.
Ah, your abrasive disc.
Yeah, that
Okay.
cleans it off quite nicely. Should have used that on the ends of the pipe maybe. Because it doesn't leave anything behind.
They're mad, them, aren't they?
Proper abrasive. Actually polishes up quite nicely.
Yeah, you said it does aluminium good.
Yeah. Well, there's them, and then there's these ones that are even finer.
So engine in there, gearbox there, feet there, bum there, bed there, rear axle there. So we've still got like the back end still to do.
There's a bit still to do on the front, but not a massive amount because of the way it is.
Yeah.
Obviously there's strip towers and stuff.
Yeah, it's good though. It's shaping up. So explain what you're doing now.
I've clamped it down, so I need to weld these tubes together now. They're all tacked already. Just need welded.
So we've got it clamped to the table so it stays square, because it all flexes while you're putting heat into it. So this will help it stay in the right position. Then are you gonna weld the inside and the outside?
What I might do is see between each weld.
Yeah.
Do that and then do that, and then maybe do that and do that. You know, do them.
Right.
separate.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we're not putting all the heat like from one end to the other kind of thing. You know.
Yeah.
and then do it on the other side as well, in between.
You're going to be all over the place then?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
It's nice to be able to just do one big run down the side, but I think it'll pull it all over the place.
Now, the light from the MiG, it's brighter, you're saying, yeah?
I think it is,
Yeah.
and there's all the splatter as well, where you don't get the splatter from the TG.
My hands are freezing, I can barely press these bloody buttons. Yeah, I was just asking because obviously everybody says about filming it and saying it's going to knacker the lens on the camera.
I don't think it will knacker the lens. Lasers do.
Yeah,
Get a hit from the laser, even that one there, if it got a reflection, it could, on a high power anyway, it could knacker.
my drone got shot off the laser at the city. They do like the light display. They've done it again just this last week. But last time they done it, I was flying the drone up, and the laser was just like absolutely battering the drone, and I haven't actually like. I think it's all right. It was going like right into the lens, like.
They're not mega powerful, are they?
Yeah. Just cleaning up a couple of spots where clamps were before, so just make it a bit better for welding. Check this thing out. So I think this is a cab star, Datsun cab star maybe. How cool is this? So I can't really get further back for him. I'll have to climb up the bank. It's got a Jonathan's saying, what am I doing? I'm filming holes in a truck. This is a hell of a project, isn't it, really?
It is,
I mean, I know you said like, did you say you got it running, but like on what? Water?
No, we put another thing to it, tank to it.
It's been here a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly needs a pile of work. Yeah, it's just panel work, isn't it?
See how it's in?
Aye.
It should be flush, and these should come out a little bit more. Same at the bottom, it should follow
It's
that
all over
bottom.
the place, isn't it?
Yeah, they've fired some different wheel arches in off some of this, but not even lined them up at all.
It's got some nicely riveted
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? They said
panels.
that was
I'll check the writing on the cap. Japanese writing around it.
the seatbelt mounting point doesn't look very secure, like, does it?
It's attached to tin. The clocks are similar to the Datsun, like
They are, aren't they? Yeah, with
the
the
point out.
Pointy
Yeah,
bits. Yeah.
it's like how they used to make bras back in the day as well, isn't it? Oh, Jonathan, there's a fucking nest in it.
Fresh one, though. Yeah, that looks an old one.
Look at that,
Probably
there's a
last year.
foot.
Got the line on it as well.
He bought that off me to put in the front of this because it's got drum brakes, and these are really nice disc brakes. Let's go up here and have a look. I think it's cool. Yep, you guessed it. This whole video is going to be Jonathan welding. just a recap on where we're sort of going. These are some drawings that I've done. I just took the original truck and coloured it in, and then I put like a more of a custom job on it. Then this was before this was just the resto mod stage, and then the S13 turned up, so this was a Photoshop of the two together, using the S13 wheels and arches onto the Datsun, and then that's a line drawing of potentially what it would look like, what it might sit like, and then that's a picture off the internet, something that I don't know, I quite like the colour scheme, grey and orange. I don't know, what do you think? I like red, black and white as well though. So I don't know how I'm gonna paint it yet, but I'm gonna have to decide sooner or later, aren't I? Funky little Fiesta. All caged up. And South 5. I'm sick of trying to hide my eyes from the welding, so I thought I'd come out and have a look at the truck. It's looking very sorry for itself. That front panel will straighten up, but it needs a lot of work anyway because it's amongst this mud. You can see in the back there that it's been cut with like an oxyacetylene torch or something. It was already full of filler, so all that needs sorted out anyway. A little bit of a tidy up on the floor, but we'll be strengthening that anyway for the roll cage. This will be coming off. Like these. There's a crack in there. There's quite a bit of tidying up to do on the bed as well. I haven't decided whether I'm gonna get it dipped. I don't know whether there's anywhere near here that does vehicle dipping. I'll just get it blasted.
So I've got your two tubes looking at the ends.
Yeah.
So the subframe mount will be like that kind of thing, and then a pin out the bottom, obviously not to scale.
Right, okay.
So that would be 30mm diameter. I should have done it further over. So if you imagine that there against the side of the tube, 30mm diameter, and then that's the same diameter as the top, which is 75, and then this bit is 20mm for going through the thing, and then you've got another bit, the pen's running out, you've got another bit that goes into that, or up to that, like that, with your bolt going through there. So when you clamp that in your bush is held in between.
Does that bolt right the way through?
No, this is welded to your tubes.
Yeah.
And that bolts into there.
Right.
So that if you get a long bolt,
so that's threaded.
No, that's
got an internal
thread. Yeah. So that goes through into it.
Right.
Because if that's 30mm, it'll sit up against the tube.
Yeah.
And that should get our measurement right anyway. You know, because of 1070.
And those are going to sit on the outside edge of those.
Outside edge of the bits that come up.
So the bits that come up, are they going to continue like this with like kicks in them?
Yeah,
up
just
to here.
A kick up.
So that's just sat on the outside edge of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
okay.
Slightly on the outside.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then we can gusset in.
Yeah.
That bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool.
So from the side you'd have your two
So that big lump of metal there, you're on about cutting that into 4 lengths.
cutting it into 4 and making this piece, so that would, from the side, would look something like that. Might have to notch the thing out a bit on the bottom.
Yeah, because it's going on a slope up.
Yeah. Or we'll just offset it to get it.
So you're going to cut that and then machine it down to the...
Yeah, it's 20mm for the bush. And
So you could make
30
them quite
there.
pretty then, you could make them like with a nice like cone on them
Yeah,
or
you
something.
could do a radius on the edge
Yeah.
and stuff, yeah.
Oh yeah, like a... Yeah.
Because if you think about it, where this tube is, the tube, it disappears away a bit,
Yeah.
you know. And then we can guss it in there if we need to,
Yeah.
you know. Not to scale.
Yeah.
And that should be straight.
So Jonathan's just cut 4 of these off that lump there with that saw. I needed to charge the battery anyway, and so I haven't filmed it, but it was bloody noisy. Let's go switch the light. Squirt on that one, no. Yep. Mint.
It's not very flavour. Sure that fits in them all. Should do. It needs to be straight to go in.
Yeah. Not a lot of room to play with.
No. That's what I want though. It's mega tight on getting it out.
Yeah. 375 days later. I don't know how many it is, but it's like, I think we're over a year now. We were just talking about it last week, Jonathan. We're over a year now on this project, aren't we? So, I'll show you what he's been up to. So so that's the mounting points for the subframes. There's 4 of them. So he's made these, which will be welded around that seam there. Those threaded and will be welded in. These will be welded into the chassis, so the rails of the chassis will come there, meet that, and then that's how the subframe will bolt in. There'll be some more pipes going that way to support those ones. And so these are, what are you calling these? Bobbins? He's named them all Bob. Yeah. So anyway, the chassis rails will lend well to there, and then the subframe will bolt in and out. So those, the front bobbin is going to be kind of going there, not quite there, it's going to be about somewhere else because that comes off at a kick essentially. Those will be cut off, more pipes put on, and then those will weld to the bobbins.
Where have we stopped?
It's because the pipe's hitting the back of the...
I
So
see.
chop that off and then
Yes.
continue.
Yeah.
Nicely notched. Cut 2.
That was hot. We have that situation again.
Yeah, so that angle that you're
Needs
going
quite a
for
bit
is just
of
to get
angle,
that
doesn't
kick, isn't it?
Yeah, I need that kick and then I'll have to cut that to suit. Which
But are you ending up short
might
here?
end up short here, yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's
you're
what I'm
ending up
thinking
short.
I thought I accounted for long enough there. And it will come in a bit, but I don't think it's going to be, by the time I cut that again, that's going to be too short, isn't it? Oh, that'll come in for another bit.
Oops.
Oops, indeed. Oh, we could do a longer one then.
Yeah. And then that's a smaller bit that's then becomes...
Yeah, well, we've got some scrap bits here that we can use, so I'll cut this angle. I'll say 215. Probably use one of these, can't we? So I can change the notcher back to straight, do that one.
Yeah.
Back to
And then
whatever
cut it to length. So he's reduced the height of these bobbins down. Those are 100mm, these are now 75mm. That one's tacked, it still needs fully welded. So yeah, that's cool. Rear subframe's certainly going to be located nicely anyway.
So I can cut a straight line even when it's at an angle.
Yeah, even with your eyes shut.
Yeah, I'm just trying to weigh up how much I need to take off and which bit I need to take it off. It's quite tricky because until it's in the right place, it doesn't line up.
Yeah, see, that's looking pretty good when it's sitting above it. It's just obviously.
It's just because it's too long.
Yeah.
I wanted to try and see what the angle is like. Well, the angle looks pretty good there, I think. I just want to shorten it.
Angle wise, this is kicking in slightly like that way. It's not quite square, it's going in slightly, so if it was all shortened,
plenty more to come off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's getting close now.
Good, isn't it? That looks fairly straight there as well.
It's still in a touch high.
Can't be by much.
No, it's not.
Judging by that bushes,
If you were to,
if you line that up with that, it's about square.
I'm going with the drive shaft.
Don't look at the drive shaft. Drive shaft will be back. Line it up to that angle there.
Oh, I'll squint to there as well. Right, take that one out and I'll hold this one straight. Yeah, that's pretty, my filming's terrible. That's nice and square here to the...
Yeah, and it's pretty damn close there.
Yeah.
I can take just a little bit more off there.
We're at an interesting point here because we've got the rear subframe and axle set up on the bench with its new frame that we built yesterday. So I finished work early, so I've just come out to the garage to get this up onto here, so that, because the next bit is we've got to connect we've got the chassis laid out here, and that's right to the front. That's the front cross member there, engines here, footwells here, seats are here, and then the pickup bed starts here, and then the rear axle. So obviously the front subframe is going to sit in underneath here and link to that cross member there, and that'll be the front ending as well. Obviously we still need to fabricate the suspension top mounts, so the shockers sit here, so those are going to be around about here. So yeah, this isn't measured or anything, these need cut, and then we're going from there up to there with the double tube, and obviously same on the other side, there up to there, and then after here we're going down to the smaller tube because it's just the support for the rear bed, so the pickup bed, so we just need some framework out here, but obviously this is all structural, and this is gonna have some triangulation going from up here into the strut tops and back down to here, so we've just done that as a single tube because we're going to be bracing off all this anyway, so yeah, there's just this bit to do, and we'll pretty much have a full chassis, well, the frame of the full chassis anyway. Like I say, all the suspension mounts and everything need to be put onto it yet, but yeah, absolutely buzzing. It's yeah, it's loads closer, so it's just nice to see it like this, you know. You can almost see a car. It looks longer than what I thought it was going to be. It's just the way it's sort of sitting there on the bench. So it's all welded along the seams now. So yeah, it's just that back bit to go on, and we'll have a chassis. So progress at last, instead of pulling stuff to bits and whatnot, and you know, and like the last few bits have been building this, which took a lot. This has been weeks to get to this because I'm only out here once a week really. So that's the main amount of the work that gets done on it. But Jonathan has been working on it a little bit in between. Has been here as well. So, and hopefully now he's going to weld these bits up, and these will be done by the time I get out here next week. So fingers crossed. Building the Datsun. Check this out for a sunset. I can't even see anything. We're getting blinded by it. Right. Thanks for watching anyway. Like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, next time hopefully we'll be putting the suspension top mounts on and getting the front subframe in. So yeah, Catch you next time. Bye bye.